Now, Yati Narsinghanand, who organised the event in Haridwar last month and called for a genocide against Muslims, has now been remanded or taken into custody at the moment for hate speech. My colleague Mariam brings us the latest on this story. Mariam, after weeks of understanding what exactly will be the process in this case, also after one arrest already taking place where we saw the same man threaten the police saying that you will die, your kids will die, he's finally behind bars.
Yes, Sonal. So Yati Narsinghanand, who was the organizer of the Dharam Sansad in Haridwar last month, which saw hate speech so heinous, including calls for genocide of Muslims, waging a war scarier than the 1857 revolt against the Indian state. The person responsible for all that, who organized that Sansad, has now finally been remanded in that case. Yati Narsinghanand was arrested on Saturday. We all initially assumed that this must be for the Dharam Sansad that happened in Haridwar in December, but the police later clarified that no, he was arrested in a different case for objectionable remarks against women. Now on Sunday, when they brought him to court for remand, their application also included the Dharam Sansad hate speech case, and he has now been remanded in that case as well, according to the police. But like you said, the sense of impunity that has been reflected in this case is astonishing and staggering. Let's not forget that Yati Narsinghanand or any of the others, they're not absconding. They have not been absconding for months. They've been clearly interacting with the police. There are multiple viral videos where you can see them interact with police and with a sense of impunity there as well. Let's remind our audience that earlier, when the FIRs were first filed against them, these priests decided to file a counter FIR. At that point, in the police station, Yati Narsinghanand was seen cackling with the police and saying that ye nishpaksh kyun honge, ye to hamare taraf hoga. Later, when the first arrest in the case was made, Jitendra Narayan Tyagi was arrested. Yati Narsinghanand was seen protesting against this arrest, and he also threatened the police in that video. He said, "Tum sab maroge." Despite this open calls to violence, despite the open threats, Yati Narsinghanand was only arrested on Saturday, and he was remanded in the Haridwar Dharam Sansad hate speech case only on Sunday.
That's right, and Mariam, that makes it the second arrest in the case. As appalling has been the conduct of these men, questions have been raised on perhaps the lack of urgency seen in this matter by the police as well. Uttarakhand, another poll-bound state, and when we've been reporting on how when several BJP ministers have been questioned on this, they've been dilly-dallying, saying it is not a matter of BJP. Supreme Court has already listening into this case at the moment. But clearly it's not just these two men. There were several others who made calls for genocide. What action is likely there?
So Sonal, there were multiple people who spoke at that Dharam Sansad and made very hateful comments as well. Like I said, including a call for genocide of Muslims. Somebody said that they would wage a war far scarier than the 1857 revolt against the Indian state if their demand for a Hindu Rashtra is not met. Interestingly, this man who spoke of waging a war against the state is still not booked. He's not named in any of the FIRs. So far, only 5 people have been named in the FIRs, and of those, now including Yati Narsinghanand, 2 are behind bars.
I see. Another question, Mariam, here is the charges under which they've been booked. We were speaking earlier and you said that though it says non-bailable, they'll have to now approach the court and have a look at this matter. This meanwhile, remember, just to give a context to our viewers, here on 23rd of January, there is already another so-called Dharam Sansad being organized, this time in another poll-bound state. It's UP and it's Aligarh.
So these men and women are very much at large, and they have said that they would be organizing other Dharam Sansads, including one in Aligarh the coming weekend. But and the charges against Yati Narsinghanand also include promoting enmity between different groups on the grounds of religion, etc., deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any class by insulting its religion or religious beliefs. These are said to be non-bailable offences, but let's just explain that to our audience. When you say non-bailable offence, it does not mean that a person cannot get bail. It only means that they'll have to approach a court of law to get bail. So we may as well see Yati Narsinghanand and Jitendra Narayan Tyagi, the two people who have been arrested in the case so far, they may walk out on bail soon.
I see. A quick clarification again, Mariam. Are these the same organizers who are going to hold the event in Aligarh soon?
It's a little unclear on that, but there are common people involved in both.
I see. So will this have any bearing on the upcoming event as well? Is something that we'll keep our eyes on. At the moment, only 5 out of those, lot of men and women who've been named, and out of those 5, 2 have been arrested. We wait to see how that pans out later. Thanks, Mariam, for joining us with the very latest.